for joining me in the dome. Today we're out here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the soil medium that I use to plant up my succulents. And we're going to actually plant this cute little container that we printed on a 3D printer. Isn't it cool? I love it. It's just too perfect. It even has a little saucer. How cool is that? And I don't know what I was thinking wearing a white t-shirt out here to plant. It is a nice 83 degrees in here. It is awesome. I'm actually sweating. The fan's on up here too, which means it's above 90. Well, it got to 90 up there, so it turns the fan on. And outside, it is still a little warm for Ohio. It is about 43, I think the last time I checked, and very muddy. And the reason I bring that up is I keep picking up the kitties and I get so muddy, but oh well. We're having fun, and check this out. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to be potting up this new really cool container I printed with a 3D printer. It's kind of cool looking for spring, Easter. Looks like an Easter egg, doesn't it? But first I want to share about the potting soil that I use for repotting and replanting my succulents. So all this is I have, the base is like a potting soil, just your basic potting soil. You can use organic, whatever potting soil you like. But you want to make sure it stays nice and loose so it drains well. So I actually add a little bit, I've been adding actually a little bit of coconut coir, C-O-I-R, and perlite. There's perlite in here, that's the little white things, because that will actually hold a little bit of the moisture in as needed. And then it's not uncommon to find pieces of gravel in my soil that I plant up the succulents. This is a sandstone mix I get every year in the landscape department, a big bag of it. It's cheap, and it ends up getting mixed in. I really do believe the calcium in the sandstone breaks down and helps the growth of the cactuses and succulents, because mine do great and they look really nice. So there it is. That's all it is, and I'm ready to start planting. I'm pretty excited about this container we printed on 3D printer. 3D printers are so cool, and you can do so many things. I think this container, I mean, it's fairly cheap because you buy a special filament for it, and it's just really a fun thing. And I love going through and finding different patterns that we can edit. And actually my son helps me with it. He's kind of the tech person with that printer. And we do some adjustments and make them just perfect for what I need to have done. So this one is just a perfect container for cactus and for gift giving, because there's holes in the bottom, which is really important for any plant. And especially important is a saucer to go underneath. And I really like this one because it's actually got little grooves in it to keep the plant up high, so the water doesn't just sit down in the bottom if you accidentally overwater. So anyhow, we're going to be using this one today. I have got a couple of really neat little succulents that I'm going to put in here for just a little arrangement. And you could actually just do one in here. This one by the end of summer will overfill this pot. But we're just going to make this one really cute to give as a gift, probably for Easter. So if you're one of my friends, don't watch this, because you'll probably get one of these for Easter, maybe, if it turns out, which I know it will. But anyhow, I want to share about this. The really cool thing about this succulent is this was a little tiny leaf. I actually took one of the little petals that broke off of the original plant that I had of this, and it started a new one. In fact, I had 5 leaves in with my giant cactus, and if you watch my earlier videos you can see, and this took about, to get this big, it went through all of last summer and last spring. I think I put it in there the summer before, so it took a good 1.5 years for it to get this big, but it was just a part of the leaf, which was a tiny little baby. How cool is that? Free plants, can't beat that. In fact, all these, here's one of the other ones. And this I actually just broke off of one of my succulents, and it will end up rooting in here with this awesome mix I make. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I usually like to stick a few of the larger calcium rocks, I try not to pick my pretty ones because the pretty ones I like to use on top in like little miniature garden kind of things. So we're just gonna put some of the stones in here, just enough to cover the bottom. I'm gonna need a few more here. Let's see, what do we got? This is my fun little potting space out here. It is 80 degrees in here right now, which is amazing for the first week of March in Ohio. So I'm just gonna put this in the bottom like that. Just enough to let the water drain through. Next, I'm going to take my mix and let's fill this up a bit. I gotta watch for pieces of straw and things like that because I don't want that in here. I'm gonna give it as a gift, so I want it to look really nice. All right, so there's that. We left maybe about a ½ inch in the top. Another cool thing. So I'm gonna take this stuff. See all the little things that get in? This is really good for soil plants. This is plant starting and stuff. Not so much succulents. I mean, you can, but having all these little pieces is awesome for the soil because it breaks down and just adds to the soil. Helps it drain too. All right, I have this water garden basket. I use this for separating some of those rocks from my soil because I like to put some cute little rocks in the top of my plantings. So we're just going to take and do this. This is actually kind of fun too. I'm going to take this and just this is fun. I could do this all day because watch what's happening. It's like you're going for gold, right? Just shake this really good, sift it through. And you'll end up with all the little rocks on top that can be used as gravel on top of the planter. And check this out. On the bottom, look what I've sifted out. Nice looking soil. This is almost like seed starting soil here because it's so loose and just perfect. Isn't that nice? All right, so here it is. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take in, I don't know if I should put 2 of these in here. And to fill it pretty good. You know, I might just put the bigger one in. And the really cool thing about succulents, if you're not real happy with the way the bottom leaves look, you can easily just take and break those off. Keep them aside because remember, every one of these is a new plant. So I'm just going to move that to the side there. And I might take this one off too. There we go. Oh boy, we got a whole bunch of plants here. Okay, so next I'm just going to put this in. Now this one's already rooted, so that's good. That I know is going to survive this, and we'll keep an eye on it. We're going to do a little bit of propagating here actually. So I'm just going to push that to the side like that. And next up, I want to put this one in. I just think this one's so pretty. I have no idea what the names of these are. But we're going to take a little more of that fine soil that we got. And we're just going to put that right here. Now, this guy likes to grow. This one will get wide and fat. And this one will shoot up taller and sprout those pretty colors, and the new little plants come off of the sides. This thing, this will get pretty tall. I'm guessing by the end of summer, this will probably be at least 4 to 5 inches tall. So these will eventually have to be moved. Now, I have a nice little space right here I left. I like to go in here and put just loosely some of those rocks, some pretty, the sandstone rocks, just to give it some character and mulch it a bit. Also, these succulents are perfect to put a mulch around because these don't drop like new babies off of them. The babies off these actually grow out of the stem of the succulent. Like this one, it will grow right off the side. Some succulents, you're going to want to leave it open because the babies or the pups will fall down in here, and then you'll want soil exposed so that will keep growing, but not with these. So what I'm going to do is actually we'll use this little tray. Ooh, look at that. I got all these cool rocks, and this is kind of fun. It's like miniature gardening, kind of. We're going to take some of these calcium rocks, and we're just going to put these in here. What that's going to do is make it look pretty. Oh, shoot. I just made another plant. Darn it. So what this is going to do is look pretty, and then also it will help with the water situation, because the mulch, oop, I just put a plant in there. What's this? Oh, this is a neat little succulent, actually. This would be something, if I wasn't giving it as a gift, I would keep that in and it would just trail around, but I'm not going to do that today. Just carefully put the stone in. Now you can use, my fingers are big today, so I'm just going to take and use a little pick or a little miniature shovel and move them around a bit just to look nice. Now, what you can do is you can put a real cool looking rock over here, or if you've got like, oh, for Easter, it would look so cute if I had a little bunny rabbit, which I don't, so, but if I did, you could put a little bunny in there or something. I'm going to end up putting a lower growing ground cover sedum succulent around here. All right, I'll show you how I do that here. Get off of this plant. So here's another one of my containers that sits in the dome. Lately my hen and chicks do so much better during the winter when I put a nice live ground cover around the bottom. Something about that helps them. But so what I'm going to do, you can either take scissors and cut this off, or you can just take real lightly and pinch it off like that. Don't be afraid. It's not, all these are just more little baby succulents. And I'm just going to set these right in here and make sure it's touching the soil, because after a little bit of watering, that will end up filling that space. In fact, it'll cascade off like this one was doing that I cut off, which I needed a haircut anyways. And then we'll just sit these around like that. Oh my gosh, I just have so much fun tinkering with this stuff this time of year. There it is. Good enough, don't you think? I think it's cute. We're going to give it a little watering, and then we're going to sit it for at least a week, 2 weeks, just so these new plants that I put in there can sprout roots, because I don't want to give it to any of my friends and have it not be rooted yet, just because if they put it inside and indoors until it gets warm enough to put these outside, chances are those aren't going to sprout new roots and be established well enough. So I'm going to do that here in the dome. And there it is. Oh, I got to dump these rocks because this goes on the bottom. How cute is that? Let me know what you think. It's going to get prettier as the sun hits it and these start filling in. Yay! Thanks for checking out my video today. You can find this and other creative living ideas on my website at brenhaas.com. I hope to see you there.